will call this regularly scheduled meeting to order. If you will join in the salute to our nation's flag. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. All right, we have our Miss 10th place world holder still in Japan. Colleague Bixel is at work, so the three of us are going to maintain the quorum here. None of us can leave. No bathroom breaks, nothing. All right, roll call and declaration of conflicts of interest.
Councilmember Abram. Here, and I have a conflict with item 10C. Vice Mayor Moniz.
Here and none.
Mayor Bublak.
Conflict with 10C Traditions 5 Assessment District is my house. And then we can proceed. I am here. Approval of agenda posted or amended. I would like us to pull item 11A completely off. And if we could put 10C, we don't have to, but it's here. So let's do 10C before public participation, if would you mind, please.
So moved as amended.
Second.
We have motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Abram.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz.
Yes.
Mayor Bublak.
Yes, it passes on a 3-0. First presentation is adorable pets or adoptable pets, whichever you prefer. Come on, Cole. Let's go, buddy.
Good evening. So tonight with me, I have a 4-year-old American Akita. His name is Cole. He has been with us since December. So he came in very emaciated. He was very hairless. And he had a couple wounds on him. So we have been working on getting him healthy and happy. He will be competing this Saturday at the Shelter Olympics. That's going to be held in Lathrop at one of the dog parks there. It starts at 9 a.m. If anyone wants to come, we're going to be taking 4 of our dogs from the shelter to this event. We'll be competing in agility, best trick, just different, various things to show how trainable shelter dogs really can be. And at the end of the event, all 20 dogs will be available for adoption. So it's an event that's been growing. Next year, I believe Tracy, Animal Control, is going to host it. Year after, we're going to host it. So it's going to be a lot of fun if you're able to come out. So he does know a couple tricks.
Let's see it, Cole. Left-handed.
Smart dog.
Dr. Borrego.
I would take him home if my house was bigger. I really love this dog. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about, we actually went a little viral recently in regards to a betta fish, of all things. So I have our Instagram video here. You can see officers. They found a betta fish. We were called about it at a storage facility. He was locked in there in a pickle jar for a month. They're able to keep track of when tenants enter the property. They were locked out, and they were going to be auctioning off the storage unit. And so they called us when they found the fish. And we handle creatures big and small. This is our first fish, and so he was happily adopted by this gal. She's out of Houston. She is a fish enthusiast, if you will. She has several tanks, like 200-300 gallon tanks with all these exotic fish. I learned so much from her, and it was really funny. She was actually on her way to the store to go buy the saddest betta fish that she could find. She had a tank ready for it, and she saw our post, and she's like, yep, that's the one. And so the shelter staff named him Cherry Bomb because it was right before 4th of July. And so he has a happy home, and it was just kind of a fun story.
Did he have all his shots?
I have no idea what fish need, but we got him a tank and, got him some fish food, and she has now him in a 20-gallon tank all to himself. So,
And
yeah.
how many hits did you guys have on all that?
We had over 100,000 views. It was shared over 100 times. And then the comments are hilarious from all the other fish people on there. So we were just giggling at them, but it was, it was a fun story and, happy ending for the fish.
Absolutely.
But Cole will be available Saturday for adoption.
All right, Cole, we'll see you on Saturday, buddy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Director Fisher, you're up. Top the fish story. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, members of the public. I'm here today to provide you an update with the temporary industrial ratepayer assistance program, which you guys adopted in October of 2024, and that was really to help significant industrial users manage the impact of our updated sewer rates. The last time I was here was in March, I think it was March 11th of 2025, and I felt it was important to return and share our progress. As you recall, the program was designed to provide temporary financial relief to the industrial users most affected by the cost of service study adjustments from our sewer rate study. Funding came from $2.18 million in penalty fees collected under TMC 6-4-505, and there is no repayment requirement unless a participant violates the program. Not working. The sewer rate study completed in 2024 made it clear that industrial customers contributed about 32.8% of the sewer revenue, but ultimately they're responsible for more than half of the system's total net costs. Prop 218 required that our rates be aligned with the actual costs, which meant industrial users faced significant increase when the new rates took effect on January 1st of this year. Rather than allow that change to hit all at once, Council took a proactive action to smooth out the transition, providing maximum assistance allowed to law to give our industrial partners time to adjust. The big features of the program, the enrollment requires an agreement that waives the right to challenge the adopted sewer rates. Participating ratepayers receive assistance equal to 25% of their total sewer bill, which on average offsets about 37% of the increase that they all experienced. The assistance continues until the allocated funds are depleted, with the final month's assistance being shared proportionally amongst all of the remaining participants. So if it won't be 25%, it'll be proportionally based on the amount that's left for that month. This approach has been clear, fair, and easy to administer. These funds are going exactly where they were intended, and we're proud to say that we've improved our numbers from March. If we looked at, on the right, the presented in March, we had about 8 people enrolled. We rolled this program out in January. Now we're enrolled at 15. We still have 4 that are non-responsive, but we've reached out to them, at least, multiple times, even, visiting their sites of, their business sites. So we've come a long ways. We're continuing the outreach in remaining non-responding ratepayers to ensure that they just know that it's available to them. And we do that, at least once every 2 weeks. So, of that, with June's bill finally processed, we've provided just under $1 million, $945,000 in assistance covering the first 6 months of 2025. July's numbers are not yet finalized. Based on the current predictions and considering the accelerating pace at which the assistance is applied, because we've gotten more users, we anticipate the program's funding will be fully utilized in the October billing cycle. We will keep participants informed of the remaining timeline when the program concludes. The staff will return to the council with a final report on all the outcomes and how we did. The next steps, we'll send this presentation to all of the eligible ratepayers, both that have already enrolled, those that have not signed up, just to kind of let them know where we're at. And that makes sure that everyone's clear on when the assistance is expected to run out, so that we can give good communication on that. Once it does, we'll return to council, ensure that you're informed, give you the final review of the final results. We believe this program has worked exactly as it is intended. We believe that the foresight that the council brought in pairing necessary rate adjustments for the targeted support for those most impacted was very beneficial. By taking this approach, we've helped the industrial repairs, I think, considerably. And we've worked really hard to make sure that we're communicating well, and it's been a good program. Be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Wish they'd all get involved, because I know it's gonna stop, and they're gonna need to figure out where to be, right?
Time is running out for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, appointment of Measure A Citizens Oversight Committee, it was an oversight, but if we could, reappoint Patrick Shields to that, I would like that.
So moved.
Second.
A motion is second. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, passes with a 3-0. All right, we're moving to the 10C. And that is approving the engineer's report for fiscal year landscaping and lighting assessment districts and all street maintenance benefit. And that is final reading, right? You wrote this so big I can't even get to page 1. Public hearings. Oh, and our first one, yes. Go ahead. Is it a second reading?
It's the second reading.
How come I don't have that? I have it as a public hearing, not second reading. Okay, we will call it a second reading. You're right. So any questions before I go to open public? Nope. All right, I'll open it to the public. Anyone wishing to speak on this item? Okay, we will close public comment, bring it back.
Move to approve 10C.
No,
Yep.
yes.
Oh, do you need to do your thing? Sorry.
Crap in my style.
Wow,
Councilmember.
messing the style up.
So on this matter, as you heard at the, during the declaration of conflicts, the mayor and Councilmember Abram have a conflict of interest because they are in one of the assessment districts that are being voted upon tonight. So normally they would be disqualified from voting on that basis because it would have some economic impact on them based on the rates. Tonight, however, we don't have, we're short 2 council members. So to have a quorum on this matter, that requires the participation of 3 council members. In the law, in Government Code Section 87101 and the enabling regulations at 2 CCR 18708, council members can participate even if they have a conflict, if they are necessary to make up a quorum. There is no alternative source of decision-making on this. The auditor controller's office has sent a memo like they do every year, dated June 10th, that they need to have these assessment numbers in by August 15th to make the tax roll. So there's no way to delay or do it another way. There's no way to convene a quorum tonight a different way. Therefore, the 2 council members will be participating under the rule of necessity. Normally, council members are chosen by means of chance, like drawing lots or flipping a coin. If you got really excited, you could throw dice, but we can't do that tonight because we need both of them to participate. So they will both be participating. This will be reflected in the legal record of the meeting and the minutes of the meeting. And I'm happy to take any questions if there are any.
Question from the public regarding this. Okay, closing public comment again.
My motion's still on the table.
Probably make a new motion after that.
New motion with Mr. Petrolakis's comments to approve 10C.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Abram? Yes. Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, passes on a 3-0. Thank you, Mr. Morris. Okay, this is time set aside for public participation. I do have a few cards. We have 3-minute timers on each side, and Ms. Inslee, you are first.
Let's see, there, okay. I've been attending meetings for several years for various reasons, and for the past several months regarding We Care. I've always wondered about the installation of the In God We Trust sign behind the podium. I'm sure some people here could share the history of that. But firstly, I wondered, why do we have a well-known Christian statement in a city building when our country is built upon the separation of church and state? After all, Turlock is home to a multitude of religions, some of them with multiple gods and some of them with no gods. But now I wonder how such a sign applies to a city that has turned its back on the most needy of our population. All of us are susceptible to catastrophic changes in our lives. Our house could burn down. We could be hurt in a car accident and be in a hospital for months. We lose our jobs and countless other things that other people have to suffer. Most of us have lifelines that are ways of coping with this loss. For instance, our families, our friends, our churches, and even the government programs that are now being severely cut for people who are in need. What if you don't have a lifeline? We too could become part of the homeless dependent upon the aid of others. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you is known as the Golden Rule. It is not just a Christian belief. It's a principle of ethics and morality found in many religions and philosophies, emphasizing treating others with the same kindness, respect, and consideration that one desires for themselves. I strongly support this universal belief, and I think many Turlockers do as well. But do all of the city council support the Golden Rule? How easy it would have been for the city council to passively vote yes and follow the Golden Rule instead of proclaiming to the city that the needs of all of its residents is of no concern to them. The hypocrisy of not treating others with kindness and empathy has me asking, if you can't at least live the Golden Rule, then can we trust you? Will you remove this sign? I think the time is past due because you have shown that there is no equality under the law.
Anstrom?
Thank you, Donna. City Council, I am here to remind my fellow citizens of Turlock that at a time when we are facing skyrocketing prices on mortgages and rents, food and other basic necessities, and at a time when many in our community are struggling mightily, this council attempted to kill off a most important resource for our most vulnerable, the We Care Men's Shelter. This act of hatred doesn't make Turlock better or safer. In fact, it puts even more pressure on the limited resources that we have in Turlock. This craven act of cruelty against our unhoused population, an act that assumes no one will care and there won't be demands for accountability, isn't the end. It's the beginning of more unaccountable cruelty towards members of our community. And for those who don't care about what happens to the homeless in our community, I would like you to ask yourself, who will care when they come for you?
Elaine Tate? T-A-I-T?
My name's Elaine Tate, and I've been a resident of Turlock for 23 years. I'm here to talk about We Care. I was there at the beginning. I have volunteered down there for many years. We can't forget our humans in need. What's happened to our community? It was started here. Grants were written. It was thriving. If not funded now, what are we going to do later? These men are human beings and are in need of help. Let us not turn our backs on them like we've turned our backs on a lot of things. For the people and organizations out there that are watching this, please sign up again on their website to give meals. They're open right now. Don't know what happens later. Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. That was Mark Twain. We got to keep remembering, and I'll keep talking about We Care until something is done. Thank you.
Anyone else who did not fill out a card wishing to speak right now? Come on up. Nope, I was talking to, yeah.
Alrighty. Good evening, Mayor, City Council, City of Turlock. My name is Karthik Prasad here on behalf of Congressman Adam Gray, and here to give a quick ledge update because it is finally August, which is the big month-long recess. But for those of us in district office, it's anything but a recess because we've got a month with the congressman, and it has been nonstop busy already. As you probably know, last week the congressman was up in Turlock, and we stuffed his schedule full of meetings and a lot of stuff, and we're doing the same exact thing this week. Last Tuesday, we had our second Veterans Advisory Committee meeting in Merced, and it was a pretty darn good meeting. We heard from a lot of voices, including several members of Turlock's own veteran community, on a lot of bills that are on the floor, and also to share that our veteran-related bill, the Strive Act, passed the House Veterans Committee with unanimous support. So the next stop is the House floor. It's a huge win for us, and we're going to be keeping that momentum going into September, because the only thing we're going to be doing in August is gathering information, meeting with folks, and figuring out what our game plan is for September, because we're going to be hitting the ground running with a lot of bills and a lot of work that needs to get done. Because there's a lot of things going on. Back in February, the congressman actually offered a amendment to the budget bill, HR 1, that would have prevented some cuts to Medicaid, but unfortunately those amendments were not accepted. And as a result, we're looking at close to 420,000 individuals in our 5 counties that we represent that might be losing access to Medicaid. So as a response to that, right before the recess, the congressman introduced the Protecting Healthcare Access Bill, which aims to restore full Medicaid funding and protect care for Valley families. So even though we're in the middle of recess, we're still hard at work. We're still going strong, and we're trying to get as much information as possible so September can be as productive as possible. Got a mobile district office hour coming up in Turlock, August 14th at the at 11S Golden State Boulevard from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, where the Chamber of Commerce is. Should be pretty nice. I'll be there, so if anyone's got any tomatoes to throw, I can take them. And looking forward to having great chats with members of the community. And feel free to reach out to our office and subscribe to our newsletter at gray.house.gov. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? John?
Welcome back to school day, right? Isn't it fun driving around in the morning trying to get to certain places and you realize it's school back and everybody's taking their kids to school. I try to at least once a year talk about water. Water is the lifeblood of any community. Whole civilizations have been wiped out because they don't have water. And to me, it's always, something always on my mind, because I believe in, not wasting water. In other words, use the water you're going to use, and don't do it. So I always remind people, if you have a 1 gallon per hour leak, you have a toilet or something like that, that's 700 gallons or so a month. It's over 8,000 gallons per year. And it's just, as you say, going down the drain, not doing anything, and you're paying for it. Now, on that vein, the city has a little thing in the city of Turlock has a thing you can go in and see your water usage. And it's, and you can go hour by hour, for things. But it's been broken. I've tried it, the last time I tried it was a couple weeks ago. And I may be the only one who uses it, because I do. It's my leak detector. In other words, I can tell if my underground water system is leaking or I'm having or something like that. But it's been broken, and it's worked in the past, and so I hope in some way that link gets back up and is useful. So it's just a simple thing, and if you're not going to use it, take it off. If we're not going to have access to it. Do it. I've used it and whatever. And the second thing I have is it's on my wish list. When I came back, I was gone for a couple weeks ago on a little 2-day camping trip. I come back and I got a big water gushing in my yard. Okay, and I come to find after looking at I haven't got my bill yet, but I figure I wasted about 20,000 gallons because it was on. And whatever. So my wish list is that the city will have something that, just like we at our bank, if we got an overdraft or something and I know it's possible to do it, and whatever, that it sends you an email and says, hey, you used 1,000 gallons last, week or whatever. So, hey, it's on the wish list. Thanks.
Got it. Anybody else? Come on up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Something raised concern with me at the last meeting, and you guys expressed that you wanted to look into being a charter city. Yes?
No.
Thank you. Because first of all, Turlock doesn't have an attraction to generate revenue to bring to this city. Stockton tried it, and they have a dock which they can use as revenue. People go see concerts and stuff. Turlock doesn't have that kind of venue. So I got to look at Stockton is an example of an unsuccessful charter city, whereas Huntington Beach, LA, San Diego, charter cities. It's going to cost the city more than you have in credit. We heard the treasurer, right? This is what we heard. And so I will implore you not to go down this road, right? Please don't go down this road, because you're going to bankrupt this city just like Stockton. I was in Stockton, and I stood out in front of that courthouse day after day after day and told them, your city is about to go bankrupt. This is what happens when you don't have the revenue continuously generating in a city when they want to become a charter city. So I'm going to implore you and ask you very nicely, don't go down this road. It's not a good road. You don't have the kind of money that's needed. People will lose a lot. I don't want to see the city go bankrupt. But that's what will happen if Turlock tries to become a charter city. Okay, you'll be in debt before you even get the charter written. Period. I heard the treasurer. You're going to expand your city government. And the city doesn't have that kind of money. That's all I have to say about it in my last 30 seconds. One Mr. Bridegroom stood up here and said, well, we don't like the clapping and we don't want to bully anybody. I feel like I'm being bullied. But yet when I sat down, he tried to bully me. Enough said.
Anyone else? Bob?
Well, we're a little over a month into the new fiscal year. At the end of the last fiscal year, there was a problem with a nonprofit, and part of the thought was the council was going to be a new year, we're going to do things differently. Well, it's now a month into the new year, and I checked the City of Turlock website today under homelessness, and I didn't see any meetings scheduled to talk to the public about what the new plan is, or anything that shows that there is a new plan. So I would implore the city, I don't care what way you go, but you better get and make a plan. And Mr. Bridegroom had brought up in regards to We Care, but it applies to the city too. When you make that plan, you better set up some metrics to see if it's doing what you want it to do and follow it. I'll use my last couple minutes just to say that along Golden State, right before you get to, I don't know what, the big turn signals there, there's 2 motorhomes parked out on the west side. And at the height of whatever problem they had, there was up to 20 motorhomes there. And if the city doesn't start taking steps right now, there soon will be 20 motorhomes parked over there. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we will close public comment and move on to the city manager's report.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to start by saying last week we had about 55 staff, council members, the mayor, all for National Night Out. There were 30 block parties around the community. This is the 16th year for the city, first year for me. Really great event to be able to see people and talk casually and talk about how to let people know to do mosquito abatement and any other questions that they were asking while we were out. And it culminated at Columbia Park. There was a huge gathering there in District 2. So next year, if you're around for that evening, it's a really nice view of Turlock and people in Turlock. We have had significant work completed and submitting round 2 of the city's housing element back to the state. It will probably post, I don't know if it'll be Friday or Monday for public review of the draft housing element. We were able to visit the senior center last week, the mayor and I got to tell you, the room was full of pool sharks and card players and people having lunch and just hanging out. It was a really great visit over there, and I'm not sure that I'm still thinking about sneaking over at lunch to play a little pool, so we'll see. But don't tell anybody. And then congrats to our fair friends. Over 240 visitors to the fair. A great year at the fair. A couple things going on that I wanted to mention. HR successfully launched the city's first Emerging Leaders program in collaboration with Leader.gov, bringing together the city of Turlock and the city of Tracy for groups of developing leadership skills in the mid-level leaders. The City of Turlock's annual job fair is set for Wednesday, the 11/5, November 5th, from 10 to 2 p.m. We anticipate over 55 employers and 200 job seekers. And we talked about this, I think, in here, but Finance and IT are developing a dedicated web page on the website, so it will show you Measure A and where Measure A dollars are being spent. And this month, Finance processed 72 new business license applications and renewed 869. Transit provided over 4,300 shuttle trips during the fair, which was a 49% increase over last year, over 2024. And in July, the streets crew patched over 800 potholes at more than 50 locations and removed nearly 20 tons of debris. And Gear Road is not the city of Turlock, just as a reminder. Thank you.
PG&E. And just to follow up on one speaker, we collectively heard the report and we said we didn't want to waste any more money on charter cities, so it wasn't a big discussion. It was just an idea and it went nowhere. All right, consent calendar. Anything?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, thank you for that. I lost that one. Open to the public on any item that you want to speak to regarding on the consent items. Okay, closing public comment.
Move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
A motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Abram? Yes. Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes. All right, and now we move on to no final readings and public hearings. 10A. All right, there's a green sheet associated with this item, and so I will be calling Ms. Werner up to help us introduce the item.
No. That's my next one.
You're substituting here, I see.
Now we're substituting. So, good evening, Mayor Bublak and Councilmember Abram and Vice Chair Moniz. I don't have to go down the whole list of everyone and members of the public and staff. The item tonight is the annexation of a residential property into our CFD, which is our Community Facilities District Number 2. What the Community Facilities District does is it provides funding for police services, parks, rec, and those type of things. It's similar to what you're going to hear later on tonight, but for CFD3, but it provides some other services. Typically, when we have any discretionary project, that's a residential project, all of those residential projects have to annex to the CFD. So tonight, we were bringing forward two properties, but at the last minute, we noticed that there was an error on the ballot that we received, so we had to pull that one from the report. So that's what the green sheet is showing you today. So it's the two bullets that are saying that we're removing 300 North Soderquist from annexation, I think it's 37, as well as amending the voters for the 905 Flower Street from 0 to 7. So you'll notice in the resolution that there are what the changes were in the resolution as well. So that will reflect the fact that we've removed one of the properties from the CFD. It will come back to you at a later date. We'll have to start the process again for the other property.
Okay. So, you received the documents necessary for public hearing?
Yes, we did.
And clerk confirm the receipt of the following documents: proof of publication of the notice of public hearing,
So confirmed.
signed waiver and consent forms for the property being annexed,
So confirmed.
completed and signed ballots,
So confirmed.
signed certificate of clerk regarding receipt of property owner waiver and consent form,
So confirmed.
ballot declaring election results.
So confirmed.
All right, Ms. Warner? The clerk has confirmed receipt of all the required items, and at this time, do we have any questions for Ms. Warner? Okay, so, let me see, I'm trying to follow this, it seems a little silly right now. Then we are going to open it to the public. It doesn't say that, but yes. Okay, we're gonna open it to the public on this item, which is specifically only for 905 Flower Street. Anyone wishing to speak on this item? Okay, we will close public comment. We need a motion for all resolutions for the item.
There's two, right?
Yes.
Motion to approve both resolutions as amended.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. We call the roll,
Councilmember
please.
Abram? Yes. Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, passes with a 3-0. Thank you. And now we proceed to item B, forming a new CFD number 3 maintenance services. Director Fisher, running to get up here. There's no running in the hall.
Getting my steps in.
Okay, all right.
Good evening again, Mayor Bublak, council members, residents of Turlock. Tonight, we are presenting a series of coordinated actions in the establishment of Community Facilities District Number 3 for maintenance services, along with the introduction of an ordinance that aligns with our municipal code, developing the funding strategy. So you're going to see, three resolutions and then the ordinance. So the first resolution is the formation of the CFD, and the second is call for election, and then the final is the reading of the election. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Mike Medvey. He's been working on this, and he'll help us with some of the procedural efforts that are required for this.
All right. I'm sorry, Mr. Mike Medvey. Got it. All right.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and council members. Here to give a brief overview of what we're going to do tonight. You'll remember I was here about a month ago introducing the resolution of intent that signaled the council's intention to form the CFD. The purpose of it is for new development to have them pay their fair share so that the city is not subsidizing the new development. Specifically, the infrastructure that they need for their development that's dedicated to the city, and the city's responsible for maintaining it. They're going to pay their own way for that new infrastructure, and this CFD is the mechanism to help them do that. You'll notice that this process is quite similar to the annexation that you just undertook for CFD2. There's going to be a public hearing so that members of the public can express themselves on the item. We're going to then, and this may sound strange, but we're going to kind of preemptively form the district, at least to form until we hold the election. Election is an interesting word because it's a special election, a landowner election, where the owners of land, there is one, get 1 vote per acre, and since there's only 1 voter, we're only collecting 1 ballot. They are expected to approve the CFD because they are enforcing this special tax on themselves, on the development that they are creating to ensure that the residents come in and make sure the city gets reimbursed for those services. The clerk is going to open the ballot, and then, Ms. Mayor, I believe you have a script that will help you kind of walk through the process.
Yes.
And we'll go through the steps and canvass the election. In the case of a successful election, which we fully expect, then the district is then officially formed, and we will record the results and then read in the ordinance, which establishes the CFD as a matter of law within the city. The intention is that this is the kind of seed that will grow into a very large CFD that every new project is required to join, and eventually, the concept of new development weighing on the city's budget will not be a thing for the future. There's not much we can do about the past. We'll do our best, but certainly for the future, the city will have a lot of opportunity to use those funds that would have been used to maintain these facilities for the general public, for the community.
All right. Questions before we open? Okay. I will open the public hearing, but also want to make sure that the public hearing was mailed and published in accordance with the law.
Yes, the notice was mailed and published in accordance with the law.
Okay, anybody wishing to speak on this specific item? Okay. We'll close the public comment. There's a report from the city staff with regard to the establishment of the proposed community facilities district. Is it on file with the clerk?
Yes.
All right. Any other questions for staff? And then we will hear the protest comments or questions from whomever who owns the property within the proposed community facilities district.
There are no written protests have been received.
Thank you. All right, there's no further public testimony that will be accepted. And I ask you, staff, to provide answers to the questions staff responds. Mayor asks for comments from the city council. And now there's a duplication here. City clerk, are there written protests? And you said no. So we'll open it to the public one more time because it says to. Anybody still wishing to speak on this item? Chief, you got a problem with it? Closing public comment. City clerk, if the owner of all the taxable property in the district was consented to holding the special election on January 14th, 2025, consent and waiver form?
Yes, and then I'll also clarify that the County of Stanislaus Register of Voters has certified that there are no registered voters within the proposed community facility district.
Okay. And so that concurs with the special election will be held on August 12th?
Yes.
All right, all public hearing is closed, and I'll ask for a motion to approve the resolutions for establishing this CFD.
And the ordinance, right?
No, we have to do ordinance separate, I believe. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
At this point, you're just doing the resolution establishing the community facility district.
There you have it.
So move to approve the resolution establishing the CFD.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, passes 3-0. All right, so now we have the additional election submitting to the voters of CFD 3 for the annual levy. Clerk, will you open the ballot?
First, I just need a motion for the annual levy.
My
The
bad.
resolution for the annual levy.
Where does it say this? This one says-
Move to approve the resolution opening the annual levy.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, passes on a 3-0. Now will you open that ballot? Don't get paper cut.
Calling a special election.
All right, the official ballots have been opened. All votes are in favor of the propositions presented on the ballot.
Okay, I call for a motion to approve the declaration of the special election results.
Move to approve the final resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Councilmember Abram? Yes. Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, 3-0. And now a motion to give first reading for the following ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, passes with 3-0. Thank you, gentlemen. I know it, right? Okay, now we move on. Yes, no, we have.
Yeah, we do have
C
second. So the
went there, yep, B. On to B, I'm sorry?
second resolution should have been resolution calling a special election and submitting to the voters, rather than.
Which was listed August, did we mess up?
We called it levying the tax. It should have been calling a special election, I think.
The
But
special
I
election.
don't know if it makes a difference.
I would just remove the second one as written.
What are we doing?
We're taking a mulligan.
Just revote on the second resolution.
Okay, so move to approve the resolution calling for the special election?
Yeah,
That's all
it's
you-
further defined on
Second.
the agenda, yes.
Yes. Second.
We have a motion second, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Abram.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mona.
Yes.
Mayor Bublak.
Yes, passes 3-0. Thank you for the cleanup.
Sure.
Thank you for the mulligan. All right, item B now. I believe Ms. Figueroa can't wait to get up here. It's way early for you. Usually you have to stay till like 10. Chief, you okay now? I know, right?
Good evening, Mayor and council members and members of the community. The item before you is the approval of 3 construction contracts for the rehabilitation of 3 city-owned properties to be paid with Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG, Permanent Local Housing Allocation, or PLHA, and Home Investment Partnership Home Funds. The City of Turlock currently owns 5 residential properties that were purchased with the intent to rehabilitate up to housing quality standards and either transfer to nonprofit agencies to provide affordable rental housing or to sell the homes to income-eligible first-time homebuyers. 2 of the 5 homes do not require rehabilitation, while the remaining 3 do require some work. On July 8, 2025, 4 bids were received for each of the 3 properties requiring rehabilitation. 2065 Cody Court is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family home. This property was purchased with CDBG funds in 2023 and is currently vacant. The lowest reasonable responsive bid was made by A&P Construction for $134,510. Staff are requesting a 15% contingency due to the prior use of the home, including unpermitted structures which will need to be removed and external water damage. Once construction begins, there may be unforeseen internal damage beyond normal expectations that need to be repaired. The contract plus the 15% contingency plus the estimated permitting fees brings the total estimated project cost to $157,686.50 to be paid by PLHA and CDBG. 1827 Shadow Brook Drive is a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, single-family home. This property was purchased with CDBG and home funds in 2023 and is currently vacant. The lowest bid was made by A&P Construction for $71,850. The contract plus the standard 10% contingency plus the estimated permit fees bring the total estimated project cost to $81,035 to be paid with PLHA and CDBG funds. And finally, 573 Birchwood is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family home. This property was purchased with CDBG and home funds in 2023 and is currently vacant. The lowest bid was made by Zach's Handyman and Construction for $53,195. The contract amount plus the standard 10% contingency plus the estimated permit fees bring the total estimated project cost to $60,514.50 to be paid with PLHA, CDBG, and home funds. A separate item will be coming to council for the recommended disposition of these properties. That concludes my presentation.
Questions? Okay. We will open it to the public. Anyone wishing to speak on these 3 items? Sure. Fill them on up, Bill.
Just to be clear, these properties, after they're rehabilitated and everything, the city is then going to give them, not give them or whatever, but assign them to a nonprofit, or are going to sell it? I just wanted to know what, when they're finished, what will happen.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak on this item? Okay, we will close the public comment and your response to that question.
And a separate item is going to be coming to council to, actually with a recommendation to sell these homes to first-time home buyers, or to, there's a couple of properties that are next to each other, and those will be recommended to go out to a nonprofit to provide affordable rental housing.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions, concerns?
And just for kind of the clarity's sake on that, those are
pretty much the only option. The only other option is the city keeps it and we continue to manage it. So
That's correct.
there's limited things that we can do with this, right?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
And just for the sake of the public, how many of these are actually lived in right now?
Just one.
So we're holding houses up that people could be living in.
Mhm.
Gotcha. We got to get this going. Okay, what is the will?
Move to approve.
Second.
All three?
All three, all at once.
Second, all three, all at once.
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, thank you. It's a 3-0. Thank you, Ms. Figueroa. Now, Ms. Werner,
Mayor, can I interrupt for a second?
maybe?
This is a bad night for me to do this, but I'm gonna mulligan the mulligan
Oh, Jesus.
on 10B.
Okay. On 10B? Okay.
Yeah, on CFD number 3, the order of the actions taken is important on that item. So we ended up sort of doing it inadvertently out of order. So I would like, while you all voted yes, somebody who prevailing to make a motion to reconsider 10B, and then we'll go from there, if that motion passes.
Motion to reconsider 10B in its entirety?
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
Ouch.
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, to simplify this, I'd like, starting from the top again, a motion to approve each resolution and then the ordinance, and as they're written on the agenda.
Okay,
As
but
they're- So,
we don't have to go through the mailed, sent out, received portion of this?
no, it's the actions taken. I think the public notice was adequate on those items.
Okay.
Would it be appropriate to refer?
If you like, you could do the whole thing overnight. So, yeah.
Whatever.
Just, would it be appropriate to refer to the first resolution as listed into the agenda? So I don't say the wrong words again. Or,
Well, since we're doing
Should
a
I read it
mulligan,
all?
why don't you just read it all? Yes.
okay,
that might be
motion
better.
to approve the resolution adopting a resolution of the City Council of the City of Turlock acting in its capacity as the legislative body of Community Facilities District Number 3, Maintenance Services of the City of Turlock, establishing such Community Facilities District.
Yes. Yes.
Second.
Call the roll?
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes.
And then a motion to adopt a resolution of the City Council of the City of Turlock, California, calling a special election and submitting to the voters of the City of Turlock Community Facilities District Number 3, Maintenance Services, County of Stanislaus, State of California, a measure with respect to the annual levy of special taxes within the Community Facilities District to pay the costs of certain services to be provided by the Community Facilities District, and a measure with respect to establishing an appropriations limit for said Community Facilities District.
Second.
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes.
And finally, a motion to adopt a resolution of the City Council of City of Turlock, California, acting in its capacity as the legislative body of the City of Turlock, City of Turlock Community Facilities District Number 3, Maintenance Services, County of Stanislaus, State of California, declaring the results of a special election in such a community facilities district.
Second.
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes. Passes all three,
And the ordinance?
3-0. Are we done? You want the
And
ordinance?
now a motion to approve the ordinance on the introduction and first reading of an ordinance adding Turlock Municipal Code Title 3, Finance, Chapter 3-9, Construction Taxes, Article 9, Community Facilities District Number 3.
Second.
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes. Passes 3-0. Mulligan, okay?
Yeah, and thank you for fulfilling one of the items on my city attorney bucket list. I appreciate it.
Good for
The
you.
proper use of the motion to reconsider. So,
All right. Thank you, Mr. Fisher.
And I promise, next council meeting will be a lot easier than this one.
Woo.
Promise, promise, pinky
Yes.
promise?
Man. All right. Actually, Ms. Warner, I really do need to know. Because that was just way too much. I practiced it too. That's what the hard part.
Those are always tough. I don't like that.
Right? Yes. Agreed.
I never works for me on this. Okay. Good evening again. Tonight is is an item that I'm bringing forward to you regarding the Regional Early Action Plan. 2.0 is what the state is calling it. We had some, the first round of REAP 2.0 funding helped us with our document, our housing element of getting that updated. So we used those funds, but the state came out with a second round of funding as well. So that funding is trickled down through STANCOG, which is the Stanislaus Council of Governments. STANCOG was awarded a little over $7 million and, that they can use for the 2.0. And $3 million of it is going to be used for this round, the transformative funding suballocation. So we were notified in June. They held a kind of a little webinar for us to understand what it is that we can apply for. So that's tonight, as I'm bringing forth a request to submit an application to STANCOG to, there we go, to get our share of the allocation. The cities were allocated a specific amount of dollars that were based on some of our RENA numbers, and I'll go through that for now. But the principal objectives and goals for the REAP 2.0 are to meet our housing equity goals, the reduced vehicle miles traveled, and to advance the implementation of our sustainable communities strategy. So those are the things that we're going to have to answer in our application to STANCOG and HCD. So these are some examples of the projects that are eligible under the REAP 2.0. Affordable housing development programs, planning activities that lead to the increased residential and/or mixed-use zone capacity in the areas identified as infill. That's really the area that we're kind of looking at, and the way that we're going to be able to do that is one of the things that's in our general plan is to prepare a master plan for our unincorporated county islands, particularly what we consider Montana West. So this is just another, an additional example of what is allowed under the REAP 2.0. But as I said, we've kind of identified where we're going to be able to spend our dollars. So this is the way that the sub-allocations are allocated to the local agencies. We have a base funding. Everybody has a base funding of $100,000. And then their methodology was based on the numbers, our RENA numbers that the state sends down to us. So our RENA numbers, our regional housing needs assessment numbers, are 5,802. So the base funding for our RENA numbers was 354, plus that 100,000 is how we get to the 554,769. So you can see that we come in we're the second below, second after Modesto as far as receiving funding. So what we've identified is, this is our general plan land use diagram. So what we've identified is preparing the master plan for our Montana West area and some of the county islands that we have now. What that will do is it'll help identify how we can get infrastructure in there, give us some standards for infill development. Right now, anything that's developed in those county islands goes through the county until we do some annexation. So what this document is going to do is help us get to the point where we can start to annex those properties in. It supports our housing element. It will also support what the general plan is requiring that we look to do, is start master planning the Montana West. So the next steps are for us to submit a timeline and application to STANCOG on the 15th. So then once they receive that application, they will notify us within 60 days of receipt of receiving our application whether or not they're going to accept it, or if they want us to tweak something. The expenditures, the original expenditures had to be expended by June of 2026. So it was a really tight turnaround. Then STANCOG came out and HCD came out with extending it to the end of 2026. So it's a really tight turnaround that we will have a consultant help us with. But we're going to probably be, everybody's being pushed to get it done. We have to have all expenditures, so the master plan will be done and finished by the end of next year. So, if you have any questions?
Questions? All right, we'll open it to the public. John?
The funds that you showed up there, is that like for 1 year?
Yes. So it's just a one-time funding.
Okay.
So what that funding is going to be used for is to help us prepare that master plan in order to identify the things that we need in order to annex those county islands and what we can do to prepare those to meet the goals of the REAP 2.0.
But there's not gonna be any more money, again, that, supposedly after that for, you're talking about the planning phase, but then are we gonna get money from the state or whatever for the projects?
Well, we didn't know that we were going to get this from the state, so we thought the funding was done from the state. There very well could be additional funding, but at this point in time, we don't know. This is just for this portion of it.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll close the public comment, and you have some questions? I'm curious, so as we decide to annex, all the costs go on the county to get the land up to par before, or is that money go towards that?
The money does not go toward that. The money is just, the $454,000 is just going to help us prepare the master plan of what we are going to envision for when we do annex. That's going to be separate, so.
Got it.
Yeah, that's it, yeah, that's going to be a bigger issue with council, so.
Yeah,
We'll be
gotcha.
bringing that back to you sometime.
Yeah, paying for all that infrastructure.
Yeah.
All right, what's the will of council?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second.
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, pass 3-0. Thank you, Ms. Warner. All right, council member comments, announcements, and future items.
I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who was involved with National Night Out. I know a lot of different departments are involved in that. Melanie Suffolk does a great job leading everything, and this, is my third year being involved in it. And the first year that I saw different organizations, AMR was there, the representatives from the hospital was there. So it was a really good evening and turnout, and thank you to all involved.
Same. Thank you to everybody, all the city staff, all the cops, the firefighters. I even saw the chief out there. It was great. And Dr. Bear was a big hit at Columbia Park this year. That was kind of a cool thing. We've never had that before. So it was a good time. It was, we had a lot more sites this year. It was great. I think that's because we waived the fees, which was awesome. And it was just great to see everybody out there doing their thing. Good night. But thanks for everybody and all the hard work and the overtime.
They had buntinis out there too. No, it's woof. And also, going back to a conversation earlier by Mr. Puffer, I know that I sent you maybe a month ago, it was actually in the Turlock Journal, an item about San Francisco and their ordinances that they're doing with motorhomes. So figuring that they'll send their people here when they won't let them park there. So I'm sure that you'll get with our attorney at some point. I appreciate that. Miss City Clerk, do we have any items on closed session?
No, due to a full absence of the council, closed session won't be held tonight.
All right, then with that, we are in adjournment.